Should I click it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Come on, click it.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to Southeast Asia. Awesome.
Oh yeah. We just booked the villa in beautiful Bali for a 1-month creative retreat. Both Mike and I have been fantasizing about going to an exotic and inspiring place to focus on personal projects. I've been wanting to write articles about life in Asia, and Mike has been looking forward to finishing his book of short stories and work on his photography. Little did we know that we are not going to make it to Bali. We arrived in Bangkok end of February 2020.
Welcome.
So this is it, huh?
Our new home for a month.
Little place. Our plan was to stay here for a few weeks before we trek across Malaysia and fly to our idyllic house in the rice fields of Bali.
Figures released today show that COVID-19.
Récemment à Wuhan, il y a eu plusieurs doctors arrive in Rome from
Devastating impact of this invisible killer.
It's a new virus. It's a pandemic
Das
strain.
Coronavirus verändert.
It is clear that we need to act now.
As COVID spread around the world, we ended up stranded in Thailand. Thailand was the first country outside of China to get infected by the virus. The Thai government took strict precautions right away. In perspective, this turned out to be such a forward-looking move. No one back then expected for COVID to grow into a world pandemic. Wearing masks was made mandatory everywhere in public, and everyone complied. No exceptions.
To comply with government policy, all customers are required to check in.
To enter our condo, to enter any store, or to take the subway, we would have our temperature checked several times a day. The subway cars were disinfected every few hours, and special cleaning crews worked at night.
Please keep your mask on throughout your journey, maintain a safe distance while standing or sitting, and avoid talking.
Most tourists left the capital in a hurry, on the last chartered flights out of Thailand. We had a choice to make: hurry up and grab a seat on a plane, or stay in Thailand and wait to resume our trip. Our original itinerary included several stops in Asia, prepaid hotels and transportation. So we decided to stay. We were sure that in less than a few weeks, we would be able to resume our trip. As the tourists left Bangkok, we started venturing to city's landmarks. Anywhere we went, the streets were eerily quiet. Bangkok's biggest tourist attractions were now empty. Can you imagine walking around King's Palace with only a few people around? The Grand Palace in Bangkok is a dazzling, magical place. Look at the details of these intricate designs. An urban legend says that King Rama I ordered delicate porcelain from China. The shipment was delivered broken into thousands of pieces. The architect of the royal palace decided not to let the porcelain go to waste and created these colorful mosaics. True story or not, the porcelain pieces adoring the palace and temples in Bangkok are stunning. There are so many wonderful places to see in Bangkok. I kept my eyes in the sky for the big part of our days. Everything was new and exciting. We were in love with the city. This busy place offers so much to see, so much to do, and so much to taste. We made sure we walked through many markets and tried exotic foods. We ventured in some dark alleys to order local specialties. Bangkok is an exciting city that never sleeps. There's always something happening in the neighborhoods, day or night. We kept exploring. A non-identified boiling pot on the street? Yes, please! Mike would stop, use gestures to point at the food and ask to try. This is Mike's first time in Thailand, and he is eager to get to know the country from the ground up.
Okay, durian fruit, which I've never had and I've heard a lot about. I'm a little scared, Anyways, we're gonna go outside and try this. Oh, this can be my
Drinking bag. We have a new plan.
their sickness bag as a backup. See how they wrap it in paper? That's so it won't even get on your hands because it's gonna smell for days.
You ready? First bite.
Interesting. A little relieved. Not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Super buttery texture inside. Almost like it's a fruit, citrusy, but not really. Creamy, sourish a little bit. Yeah, it smells weird, but not terrible. I thought it was going to smell like, they say it smells like carcasses, like rotting carcasses. Who wants a bite of that? Well, my friends, this is the end of the durian experience. I'm glad I tried it. Not as bad as I thought, but I don't think I'll be buying any more. Bye, durian. Thanks for the experience.
I think you put it in the wrong garbage. I think you gotta put it in here. Soon, new COVID measures were put in place and Bangkok was under lockdown. At the very beginning of the pandemic, we experienced mixed feelings in the big city. People were afraid of us. On local TV, officials were warning that foreigners are the cause of the virus. The Thai people did not want to offend us, but were trying to avoid dealing with us. Social distancing was a new concept for everyone, Thai and foreigners. We also witnessed great gestures of kindness. While the Western world was hoarding toilet paper and fighting over canned food, a stranger on a public boat ride saw our worn-out, dirty masks and gave us 2 new face masks he had bought for himself. There was a shortage of masks at this time, and we could not find any for sale. He did not speak English, and we did not speak Thai, but we understood and appreciated his generosity. As Bangkok was under lockdown and the virus was ramping up, we decided to get out of the crowded capital. We planned to spend a few weeks in the south of the country until things come back to normal. Unaware of the bigger world problem about to unfold, we flew to Phuket. We did not know this back then, But this will be the last time we board a plane for the next year and a half. We landed in Phuket to find the island filled with tourists oblivious about COVID. Big groups of people were tagging along the beach and bars, not taking any precautions. We visited some beautiful places in Phuket, but we did not feel safe. A day after we arrived, Thailand's government announced a complete country lockdown. All airports were closed, no one will be coming or leaving the country until new orders. Phuket was the first place to be shut down. The roads in and out of the island were blocked to contain the virus from spreading. We were stuck in a COVID nightmare. We did not sleep all night trying to figure out what to do. We eventually found a small speedboat company that was taking its last trip from Phuket to the tiny island of Koh Yao Noi. This was our only chance to get out of Phuket. We packed our stuff in a hurry. This was it, the last boat, no coming back to land until the government lifts the lockdown. We had no idea how long we would have to stay on Koh Yao Noi, and we had no idea that this tiny island had no proper medical facilities. We were going to be stuck by choice on a small island we knew nothing about, with no boats to land. As crazy as it sounds, taking the risk seemed like a better alternative. We were so happy to escape out of Phuket. We arrived on Koh Yao Noi to find out that most hotels and restaurants were shut down. We rented a small bungalow in a beautiful, lush garden and waited to see what happens next. At first, we were surprised. Our new island home had no real beach. When the water withdrew with the tides, the shore was covered with mud and stones.
Seriously? We picked an island with no beach?
We eventually discovered one sandy beach towards the bottom of the island.
Koh Yao Noi
means small, long island. You can see the entire place in a couple of hours. There's not much to it. 90% of the island is Muslim. People living here are kind and welcoming. They're also very protective of their home and their culture. Large hotels and bars are banned from this island. It's a fisherman's community with a few rubber trees, mostly paved narrow roads, and limited tourism. Despite its shortcomings, we fell in love with this tiny place. At high tide, the shore looks much lovelier. Koh Yao Noi is surrounded by dozens of smaller islets standing in the bay. It's so romantic to see their silhouettes emerging from the water. The panorama surrounding the island is very photogenic. Our little garden was teeming with life. We started naming everyone, like Fighter Guy. Every day, true to himself, he came to defend his territory. And here's the Whooper, a very shy and peculiar bird with red eyes. We named him Whooper because of his call. Here's Coco, the monitor lizard. One day, Coco got inside our bungalow and played hide-and-seek for days. Mike had to catch him somehow. It wasn't easy. Monitor lizards are very fast.
Okay, Mike's got him somehow. We're gonna try and relocate him. Through those grasses here, we don't even see what's in here. Might be snakes and stuff.
We released Coco into the wild, away from our room.
There you go.
Then, to our huge excitement, a family of hornbills moved into the trees behind our garden. There was the mom, the dad, and 3 siblings. The babies were still learning how to use their wings. It doesn't look easy to soar with a heavy horn attached to your face. After a month of jumping from tree branch to tree branch, the babies were ready to take on the skies.
Hello people, welcome to Koh Yao Noi banana picking time. They're not really ready, but when have you been on an island where you just can pick your own banana? I think it's crazy. See here, we have some bananas. Aren't quite ready, but we're gonna see if we can get one to ripen up. Do I need to sing the song? Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banan. All right, we're cutting a banana. Just a couple. Oh yeah, one. Oh, they're cute. Cute little bananas. You know what? They're like emitting a sticky substance. What is it? Look at that.
To our surprise, we discovered that at low tide, the beach becomes a canvas for the most talented artists. You cannot see much from this vantage point, but let me show you from up close. Look at that! Isn't this the most beautiful live art you have ever seen? Those little guys are called sand bubbler crabs. They eat organic matter found in the sand and create these beautiful design patterns. Mike and I would go on sunset bike rides. The narrow village roads are so beautiful, bathed in the late afternoon light. Going around the entire island doesn't take very long. After our ride, we would walk on the beach and wait for the sun to disappear into the sea. It made us happy to observe the clouds and drift with the sound of the waves. There is so much magic in the little moments. We would sit here until nightfall, with the sand bubbler crabs hard at work around us and the fishermen boats bobbing in the water. I'd love to share this feeling of serenity with you. How does it feel? This is my best attempt to transport you to Koh Yao Noi and surround you with the island's peace of mind. When the light went down, the world would turn purple. A symphony of crickets would take over the forest. Far away from our family, from work, from home, COVID forced us to slow down and rethink our lives. Do you miss anything from home?
You're my home, baby.
Oh, I feel the same way. When the night shadows covered our garden, new creatures appeared. Some cuter than others. Then the monsoon season came and we did Thailand's island storms. The sky would light up every night and we would hear heavy thunder. The electricity went out often. We were lucky to have our own generator and were never left in complete darkness. It was easy to spot a storm. A thick sea fog would cover the island. Then violent winds would shake our garden before the downpour of rain. It was scary and beautiful at the same time. I felt so small, hiding inside our bungalow from the fury of Mother Nature. The rain came in every day. Sometimes raging, sometimes more gentle and romantic. We were stuck. Nowhere to go and not much to do. We started appreciating standing still. After years of running on a treadmill of to-do lists and projects, I was experiencing the Buddhist way of life with its moments of quietness and observation. If it was not for this global pandemic, we would have never had the time or the budget to find ourselves on a tiny island, noticing the magic of the little moments. One afternoon, listening to the rain, I realized how much time I spent on autopilot, rushing through tasks and not truly enjoying the moment. I decided to do my best to stop taking time for granted. After a couple of months, Thailand's government announced the slow lift of the lockdown, province by province. This was our chance to get back on mainland. To be allowed to leave the island, we had to go to the local doctor for a health certificate. Then we went to the local police office for more stamped documents we couldn't read. And finally, we paid a visit to the village chief so he can sign a release form that will allow us to board a speedboat and say goodbye to Koh Noi. We took our chances and traveled to the adjoining Phang Nga province. From here, we found a Thai couple who agreed to give us a ride to Don Sak Pier. The public buses were not running at this time, and we were very lucky to find someone to take us on this 3-hour journey across the province. We arrived at the pier right on time to board a ferry headed to Koh Phangan. This ferry, typically full, was running with only a few people on board. Koh Phangan was open for visitors. During the lockdown, they never had a single case of COVID. This island was a safe place to stay. After worrying for so long and being under curfew, we suddenly realized we are in Thailand with no tourists around. We are alone on most beaches we go to. This is amazing and unprecedented. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see this busy tourist country on a VIP ticket and discounted hotel prices. After 3 months of complete isolation, the Thai provinces were now open. And Thailand was ours. At this point, we knew that our planned trip in Southeast Asia will not be possible. Goodbye, dreams of Bali and rice fields. So, we decided to hit the road and see as much of Thailand as possible before the international airport reopens and we have to go back home. Our family and friends in Europe and in the United States were now dealing with lockdowns, while we were lounging on gorgeous beaches by ourselves.
Welcome to Koh Phangan.
We felt so lucky and extremely grateful. We lived on Koh Phangan for a month. This charming island indulged us with beautiful beaches, tall coconut trees, and wonderful markets. It was eerie to witness Thailand's biggest party beach, completely empty. No full moon parties and no crowds. Just us and the sea. As the virus was brought down to zero in Thailand, other islands reopened. We moved to Koh Tao. This is a mountainous island with countless hills and steep roads. Mike ended up on a search and rescue mission. He posted a treasure hunt map with the coordinates of our missing drone in the Koh Tao Lost and Found group on Facebook. We did not expect replies from so many people ready to help. A cast of colorful characters came to the rescue. Gaspar, a local dive master, was the first to join Mike on a jungle search. They both came back sweaty, tired, beaten by bugs, and empty-handed. Then Edward gave us his high-tech GPS for jungle search number 2. Mike went back into the wilderness all by himself. We learned that the jungle of Koh Tao is extremely thick and is home to giant centipedes that can put you unconscious with one bite. After 3 days of no luck, Vutipong and Mark went on yet another epic jungle hike and found our little drone. This was surreal and so amazing.
You scooted down that little road, you started from there.
Going up and really big rocks, here, we just go under.
We were stopping here too, because this is the first coordinated. I think this was the first one.
I see.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This is all the way back.
What are the chances to find a small drone in the deep island jungle? Thank you guys. Thank you! The aerial shots in this movie would not be possible without your help. I've gotta say, the community of people living on Koh Tao is fantastic. After surviving a crash and sitting on the jungle floor for days, our drone was still functioning and ready to fly. How lucky! Although hilly, steep and difficult to get around, Koh Tao is extremely charming. The biggest draw here is diving. The visibility of the water is fantastic. Koh Tao is known for its underwater paradise. Is made of beautiful small coves. You can jump in the water right off the beach and go snorkeling. We moved to Koh Samui next to discover that most of the island is closed. Closed hotels, closed bars, restaurants, spas, closed massage places. The pandemic had completely changed the landscape of the island, turning it into a ghost town. For the lack of tourists, the beach was now used by the cows to come here and refresh. Koh Samui is a pretty big island, with a few colorful places around. One of the best trips we took was a full-day tour of the nearby Antong National Marine Park. It's a pristine archipelago composed of 42 islands. And well, I found the most entertaining pad thai shop on the island. What a fun fire cooking show! Koh Phi Phi opened next, so we rushed to see one of Thailand's most beautiful places. Koh Phi Phi did not disappoint. The beach here is absolutely gorgeous. The island is surrounded by green-blue water with a fantastic visibility. The streets were completely empty. This overly busy little island was now standing still. All the longtail boats for hire by tourists were parked in a bay, with nowhere to go and no one to take. Nobody's walking around town. Nobody's walking around the pier. No one's around. We felt so lucky to be here by ourselves.
Alright, best coffee in Koh Phi Phi, served by the nicest person you can meet, Ja.
Thank you so much.
Although the national park was technically closed, we hired a longtail boat and cruised to the most amazing island formations in Maya Bay. The water is so clear You can see the corals and fish right off the boat. Going around these giant cliffs feels surreal. This place is magical. Have you seen the movie The Beach? Here we are in this beautiful bay. We're not supposed to stop here, but Mike jumps off the boat. He wants to feel the joy of being in this amazing water all by himself. Can you blame him? Of course, with all this beautiful clear water, there are lots of fantastic diving and snorkeling spots around the island. On Koh Phi Phi, locals have a thing for cats, or cats have a thing for Koh Phi Phi. Their population is out of control. When you enter a store, any store, the first product you'll be greeted with is cat food. Bags and bags of cat food are piled up at the entrance of every shop. Koh Phi Phi grabbed our hearts. This is seriously some of the most gorgeous sunsets I have seen in Thailand. The island delivered a magical light show every night. And Mike got to play in a local band. I'll leave the story for another time.
Nothing's real, only fact. It doesn't know how to feel inside. Only reason kills the grasp for being me. So many.
We headed to Koh Lanta next to discover that the soil is a beautiful dark red color on this island. Koh Lanta is another Muslim community, and you'll hear the mosques calling several times a day. With the monsoon season in full swing, a lot of garbage is brought to the beach by the tides. At this time of the year, there's a lot of wind and waves. Some of the beaches are completely washed out at high tide. Although not the best for swimming, the monsoon waves are very photogenic. There's a big sea gypsy community that lives on Koh Lanta. Squid fishing is a big commerce on this island. The squid boats go out at sea during the darker nights, when the moon is only a crescent in the sky. The fishermen attract the squid with these lights attached to their boats. Koh Lanta is an island with sandy beaches and small coves. The island's longest beach, called Long Beach, is about 4 kilometers. You can walk an entire hour before you reach its other end. There's something magical about Long Beach and the way the sunset light entwines with the waves. Beautiful Koh Phi Phi is now standing on the horizon.
Okay, salted egg. It's different. Then we have the hot chili squid flavor. There's some seaweed. The curry pizza flavor.
Where's the pla?
Basil's pretty good.
Here's pla, fish.
Oh, don't forget crab curry.
Crab curry, salt and sour, devil something. Here's the squid one and tomato. The octopus one? What? Baked cheese with tamarind.
Yeah. You don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I can't help you with that one.
Sausage and cheese bite flavor. Oh, you get a whole sushi roll in that one.
Yogurt flavor. And caramel.
If like Mike you like chips, Thailand is the place for you. After only a few days, we decided to bail out of Koh Lanta. Little did we know that we'll come back here again and we'll establish our permanent home base on this island. We backtracked to Riley.
Look at that.
Riley is a gorgeous place, surrounded by these giant rocks in the ocean. This place is both charming and a bit bizarre. Lots of monkeys walk around and feel home here. We were told to lock our hotel room windows. From here, we traveled all the way to Koh Lipe, a tiny island in the very bottom of Thailand. This is the last Thai island before we cross over to Malaysia. The island is said to be the Maldives of Thailand because of the amazing color of the water and fantastic visibility. You can go snorkeling right off the beach. The water is beautiful and the island welcomed us empty. But it was not my favorite place. Koh Lipe looked a bit unkept, with lots of stray dogs running around. We found out that the monsoon season brings about lots of interesting stuff. A TV, anyone? How about a pillow? At this point, we had experienced several months of amazing travels, breathtaking beaches and great adventures. As the airport was still closed, we decided to push on and head to the north of the country. We wanted to visit some of Thailand's historical places and hill tribes. Our first stop was Lampang, famous for its ceramics. This little town is lovely. Most of the neighborhoods can be walked by foot or visited on a bicycle. The weekend market here turns into a really fun street fair. We ate a lot. And we tried new foods we had not seen in the south of Thailand, like this gelatinous dessert made from butterfly pea flowers and coconuts.
It's only here in Lampang you can try it. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So soy sauce, garlic on it.
Yes.
What's it made with though?
It's from, we have like the flour, something like that. We have from the leaves. It's all natural.
Turns out, you have to add some dried garlic on top before you get a bite in your mouth. Sounds terrible, but it tastes real nice. Who knew coconut goes so well with garlic? We visited different temples around the city. The atmosphere everywhere was really peaceful. Besides ourselves, we did not see a single tourist around, only the local people living their lives. If you're wondering why this person is praying to these pointy things, I am as puzzled as you are. Our next destination was the historical town of Sukhothai. This is where you will find the ruins of the first Thai kingdom. Sukhothai was once the capital of Thailand and the birthplace of the Thai alphabet. The name Sukhothai means dawn of happiness. This beautiful place is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The historical park here is lovely and quite big. To see it, you rent a bicycle and cycle around the ruins under the shade of the old trees. Sukhothai has a very peaceful atmosphere. This is also where one of my favorite Buddha images is located. Wat Sichum is known as the Buddha who is not afraid. I first saw this Buddha 15 years ago on my very first trip to Thailand. I remember being so vividly attracted to this image. This time around, again, I couldn't take my eyes off the Buddha. This giant seated Buddha is magnetic. His right hand is covered with golden leaves from people who come here to pray. This hand is among the most photographed images in Thailand. Now you know where to find it. Since we're talking about the different Thai historical areas, let's take a quick look around the second capital of the Kingdom of Siam, Ayutthaya. The ruins of this majestic city stand between 3 rivers. Over 400 temples and 3 palaces were built here. This is another fantastic World Heritage Site and a beautiful place to take a stroll. You can easily reach Ayutthaya from Bangkok. We had planned to go to Chiang Rai next, but the heavy monsoon rains flooded the highway and destroyed part of the roads. This happens often in Thailand, so we headed to Chiang Mai instead to wait on the road repairs. We felt lucky to be in the middle of the rainy season and somehow managed to avoid the big downpours. Well, most of the time anyways. Did you know that Chiang Mai has hundreds of temples, each more beautiful than the last? There are big temples and small ones. There are new temples standing next to old temples. There are shiny temples.
You can see this one from space. It's so shiny.
There are wooden temples and artsy temples. There are temples with monks living in them. There are city temples and temples in the mountain hills. There are silver temples, golden temples, ornate temples, fairy tale temples, and, well, bizarre temples. There are temples you must climb to. There are sacred temples. And very popular temples. There are temples built underground. There are temples you pray inside, and some you pray outside. There are temples you go to get a blessing, and temples you go to make a wish. Did I mention there are hundreds of temples? And each one has something unique. We spent a full week walking around and managed to see only half of them. By the way, these are sculptures made of wax. Don't they look so real? Every time we enter the temple, we had to stare for a good 10 minutes to figure out if these are alive, because sometimes there are real monks, but sometimes not. Chiang Mai delivered great mountain views and the most delicious dried strawberries I have ever had in my life. They also have smoked almonds here. Those are to die for. We stayed in a small hotel inside the old city walls. This historical part of the city, typically busy with tourists, was yet another ghost town. We visited some of the factories outside of Chiang Mai. They had not seen a single tourist in months. By the look of the giant empty parking lots for tour buses, we could only imagine the impact of COVID on these industries. It was sad to see so many artists and craftsmen seats left empty. How are people supporting their families without their jobs? When the road to Chiang Rai was repaired, we headed out further north. For the first time, the rain finally caught up with us. The wet and muddy roads discouraged us from driving up the mountains with our tiny motorbike, but our tour of temples continued. Chiang Rai also has many wonderful temples. If you don't get to see the Emerald Buddha in Bangkok, you have a second chance here, where you can find a very close replica. This tiny Buddha image is the most sacred object in all of Thailand. Well, not this one, but the one in Bangkok. This Buddha is so special, only the king can touch the image. So the king of Thailand climbs on a tall ladder 3 times a year to change the clothes of the Buddha at the beginning of each season. The legend says that if you pray to the Emerald Buddha, your soul is going to be reborn in Thailand. You are not allowed to take photos at the Royal Temple in Bangkok. But here in Chiang Rai, you can admire the replica from up close at your heart's desire. Chiang Rai is known for some of Thailand's most unusual and artistic temples. How is that for an amazing place? Welcome to the White Temple! Look at the details of this wonderful design. So bizarre and enchanted all at the same time. For example, here are corpses trying to escape from the underground. There are dragons and flames and warriors. Unfortunately, it's not allowed to take pictures inside. But inside, we saw Spider-Man, Darth Vader, Michael Jackson, Batman, Hello Kitty, and even Angry Birds adoring the walls of the small prayer room. It's a mad artwork for a Buddhist temple. The architecture is breathtaking. There are many intricate details everywhere. The white color gives this temple an angelic vision. It shines and reflects the sun in the clouds. Such an abundance of creativity and imagination. It's pure magic. There's an entire park around the White Temple, with other temples, like this Golden Temple. There's a Zen garden, a fortune well, and many other art installations. So, this was the White Temple. There is also a Black Temple and a Blue Temple. Look at these mythical creatures. Would you come to pray here? This is a functioning Buddhist temple with some beautiful seats for the monks. I felt like we were walking in a land of fairy tales all day and wandering between whimsical worlds. It was my birthday, and it was magical. You agree, don't you? The beautiful rain and the colder weather up north felt like a balm for the soul. Refreshed, we headed down the coast to visit a friend in Rayong. It was fun to see the cows crossing the apartment complex every morning and every night under the guidance of their shepherd on a motorcycle.
600 meters. Keep left.
Our friend Amir drove us to Koh Chang, one of his favorite islands. We were back near the ocean after 2 months spent in the mountains. I was so excited to return to the beach. There is so much energy and happiness in the salty air. We stayed at Remy's Little Hotel in Bailan Bay. Koh Chang is a beautiful island with dense, steep jungles. There are many hiking trails and waterfalls, as most of the island is covered by an unspoiled rainforest. The Koh Chang National Park also includes a coral reef out at sea. Snorkeling in the crystal clear waters between Koh Chang and Komak is a beautiful experience. The national park includes many islands and islets that are uninhabited. Well, almost uninhabited. I know, how strange! A deer on the beach! There is a small herd of deer living in the national park. Like most Thai islands, Koh Chang is a big fishing community. Fishermen live right on the water in these small, colorful houses on stilts, with their colorful boats parked outside their doorstep. Squid fishing is a big business here as well. By the way, Chang means elephant in Thai. This island is named Chang because from afar, the silhouette of the island looks like an elephant head. The island coast is dotted with beautiful beaches and a few small villages. We loved exploring this place by motorcycle and fell in love with the steep hills. Walking around, we found this gorgeous abandoned temple. This part of Thailand is so close to Cambodia. You can definitely see the influence. We left Koh Chang to discover what would become our favorite Thai island. Really, Believe me, this is Thailand's best kept secret and the most beautiful island I have seen. Mike is excited to have this gorgeous beach all to himself. It's raining this morning and no one's around. Why is this island so special? It's not just the tall coconut trees and pristine water. There's a feeling of freedom and wilderness and home. Even on a gray, rainy day, the beach looks gorgeous, and we were so excited to walk around and explore. Look at this dramatic backdrop and the steam rising from the jungle after the rain. I felt like we're cast away in a mythical place, lost in the middle of the ocean. Our morning was windy and wild and so exciting and beautiful. The storm made the island even more striking. This dramatic place grabbed our hearts, and we were so happy to be here. Storm or no storm, we had to get in the water. The water here is so transparent. This mystery island has dense jungle trails, small villages, and amazing, world-class, pristine beaches with crystal clear azure water. And there are also waterfalls. And the water is icy cold. After hiking in the steamy jungle under Thailand's hot sun, it felt so refreshing to jump in. We had planned to stay only a few days, but found ourselves extending our trip. We rented a small room on the beach. The hotel owners needed to travel to mainland. They gave us the hotel keys, a motorcycle, and some instructions. We were left on our own for the next few days. The monsoon was in full swing. We would sit under the tall coconut trees and listen to the rain. Don't you love the sound of the rain? It's so soothing and washes away any worries. We decided to jump on a small boat and go snorkeling. With such a great underwater visibility, we wanted to explore the coral reefs around the island. As we left the shore, a storm was pouring on the horizon. And sure enough, the rain and wind followed soon. This is the most extreme snorkeling experience I've ever had. The rain was beating us so hard. The waves were swinging our little boat left and right. But we were busy looking at corals. It's not that I don't want to share this place with the world, but it would be nice if this amazing island stays hidden from the crowds. So, shh, this is our secret. We returned to Bangkok for more government paperwork and visa applications. At this point, after 8 months of living in Thailand, we are experts in queuing for hours and tending to any requests from the Thai administration. Although I am so grateful to the Thai kingdom for letting us stay in the country for so long, I wish the process would have been easier. The constant visa applications, the 2-stamp process made our life difficult and stressful. The airport was still closed, and there was no going back home. The one good thing about having to travel to Bangkok so often was being in Bangkok. I mean, come on! This is one of the most exciting cities in the world. And this dazzling place was now accessible. The most coveted restaurants, which you need to book months in advance, were not only available, they were also on sale. Mike is a big-time foodie and loves the high-end culinary experiences, so we dined in style.
And a passion for food, so it was a natural choice for me to open up my own food stand.
Have you heard of Jeffy? This 80-year-old lady cooks over an open fire on the street. You'll recognize her by her goggles. She is the only street food stall in Thailand to have received a Michelin star. It's almost next to impossible to eat here, and you need a reservation months in advance. Not today! We arrived at Jay's stall during a storm and found ourselves to be the only customers. We enjoyed the quiet VIP experience and got to meet the chef. If you have been to Jay's stall and have witnessed the long queues outside her shop, you know how crazy this empty scene looks right now. We were very grateful for this fantastic treat. We also enjoyed countless rooftop bars and interesting food experiences. On sale by Bangkok's most prestigious restaurants, we celebrated Mike's birthday in style.
Oh my goodness.
With the airport still closed, we set off to discover more Thai islands. On Koh Mak, our kitchen cabinet came with a cat. Not many people know that Koh Mak is a private island owned by 5 families. It's a very small and tight community built around the coconut and rubber tree plantations. Most of the local people work in the plantations or as fishermen. We were very curious to see how the rubber is collected daily. The white latex is mixed with chemicals, then hand-rolled into mats and hung to dry. We also walked around the gorgeous coconut groves. Most of the coconut plantations on Koh Mak are organic. The coconut tree in Thailand is the primary source of building materials for the rural houses. Coconut is not only an essential ingredient in Thai cooking, it's also part of Buddhist ceremonies. Coconut juice is considered to be pure and is given as offering. Koh Mak prides itself for being a sustainable island with low carbon emissions, and the community encourages visitors to protect the environment. We loved falling asleep to the song of the crickets at night. It's magical. Just listen. We also learned that a Thai-style outdoor house is not easy to live in during the rainy season. We encountered the biggest scorpion I have ever seen. It was massive, and it was hiding behind Mike's shoes one night. It scared the hell out of me. Mike took a broom and chased this huge thing back in the garden. When I was a kid, one of my favorite Bulgarian bedtime stories was about a 3-headed dragon and a brave young man in a kingdom far, far away. I dreamed about adventures when I grow up. This year, I lived my fairy tale and found many Nagas in a faraway kingdom in Southeast Asia. That's something I've learned about dreams. Sooner or later, we get what we wished for. So, be mindful of your thoughts. The universe is listening. All year, we observed the Thai way of life. The tides came and left, the beautiful, lonely beaches. We witness how people in the villages deal with the pandemic and unemployment. They seem to accept life as it comes. Our Thai hosts stayed kind and optimistic, We saw them share their food and their homes with richer tourists stranded in Thailand. There is a certain calmness to the Thai mindset. No matter the challenges ahead, people stay hopeful and seem to move past adversity faster than the rest of the planet. There is a certain grace in the way Thai people move. There is gentleness in their body language and their facial expressions. It's like a blanket of Zen Buddhism is wrapped around this exotic country and is giving its people an extra peace of mind. In our society, we tend to associate happiness with money. The rich have more abundance, less problems, and less stress to deal with. In Thailand, peace of mind comes from every walk of life, and mostly from the poorest part of the population. The Thai government's response to COVID was genius. In the US, people got checks with money. In Thailand, people received an incentive to travel within the kingdom. The government paid part of their hotel bill so they can take a holiday. This was a smart move to help the tourism industry and provide a needed break for all citizens of the kingdom. For the first time ever, Thai people set off to enjoy their own country without the crowds of foreign tourists. We kept on traveling as well. We went down south to the province of Trang to visit some of Thailand's most gorgeous islands. After a night on the bus, we arrived in Trang City at 6 a.m. Perfect time to experience the morning market. Breakfast is a big deal in Trang, and people get up early for it. Walking the market, you will find steaming bowls of noodles and rice porridge, stir-fries, dumplings, dim sum, Chinese deep-fried dough, coconut balls, roast pork. This is a peculiar choice in a province with a large Thai Muslim population. There's kopi, a strong coffee served with condensed milk. We tried a bit of everything. By 8 o'clock, all the good stuff was gone. We saw some strange items you can buy here, like this snakefish or this cockroach-looking bug. Turns out, this is a very expensive ingredient to a weird dish. I'll tell you more about it later on. Full from our morning feast, we headed to the docks. We paid $2 and hopped aboard. This was one of the most interesting boat rides we've had in Thailand. It took a while for the people and merchandise to fit on the small vessel. There was everything on board: fresh produce, cleaning supplies, rice, watermelons and pineapples, gas, eggs, a TV, fried snacks, cans and bottles of fizzy drinks, and people. The embarkation process did not look easy. Everything was carried by hand on a narrow wooden plank. It was a real engineering effort when it came time to load a tuk-tuk on board. People were fast and organized, despite the strangeness of our cargo. In a different country, having to load so many bizarre items would have probably taken hours. When everybody and everything was on board, we were ready to go. Our small boat was filled to the brim. I didn't think we'd make it very far with all the weight, but we did. We arrived safely on Koh Mook, and people hurried to disembark all the pounds and kilos of craziness that was on board. Koh Mook surprised us with the beauty of its nature and marine life. The white sandy beach looks stunning, even in the stormy weather. We found so many marine animals on the beach. And so many different seashells. Look what's hiding in the sand. Starfish. And not just one starfish, hundreds of them. Do you know what this is? It's a sand dollar. I had never seen one alive. And here, what do you see? A stormy beach? Let's look closer. There's gotta be thousands of crabs here. What a party! Oh, wow! Look at that! A white-throated kingfisher! I get really excited when I see so much interesting wildlife. What else are we going to find? Amazing! Look at the starfish! It's huge and so colorful.
There's nobody here.
Despite the rainy weather, we had so much fun walking up and down the main beach on Koh Mook. And it's not just the beach and the exciting marine life. This island has beautiful vegetation and flowers everywhere. Koh Mook is a fishing village. Most activities revolve around the longtail boats. Early morning and late afternoon, the fishermen go out at sea to set up their traps. The rest of the time is spent taking care of the boats, fixing their longtail motors, and repairing the fishing nets and cages. This island is not very developed, and there is not much information about it online. People talk mostly about the Emerald Cave, which is the main tourist attraction on Koh Mook.
We're totally dependent on his light.
It takes a good 10 to 15 minutes of swimming under the rocks to reach the cave. It's wonderful and a bit scary to swim in total darkness.
I see daylight. Woohoo!
And here it is! The Emerald Cave. The jungle here grows vertically, straight on the rocks. The water of this magical lagoon is a strange milky blue. This place is interesting and so unique. It's like being in Conan Doyle's novel, The Lost World. We sat on the beach and listened to the sounds of the water moving through the limestone. You have to make sure to time your entry and exit with the low tide. During high tide, the cave fills up with water and it's impossible to swim in or out. If you find yourself in the neighborhood, Koh Mook is an island worth visiting. To top up our experience, we also had the most genuine, kind and generous host, Tawan. Kun Tawan is in charge of 4 small bungalows and is one of the most kind-hearted people we've met on our trip. And we've met a lot of good people in Thailand, but Kun Tawan warmed our hearts. Moving to the nearby Koh Libong, we learned that the longer the pier, the bigger the tide. On some of the Thai islands at low tide, the water simply disappears. Koh Libong offers the most local and authentic Muslim village experience you can find. Tourism is almost non-existent here. We stayed in a tiny guest house. No one spoke a word of English. People seem surprised to see us here. Koh Libong has these interesting floating fish farms. You can sit here and order fish to be cooked for you on the spot. We saw Thai people packing up fresh seafood specialties to bring back to mainland. The island has fantastic seafood dishes and is known for its crab curry paste. If you're looking for a place completely off the beaten tracks, this island is for you. Next, Koh Kradan impressed us with its clear water and fantastic snorkeling experience right off the beach. We did not want to leave. This island is a real paradise. Koh Kradan is an expensive island, and we could only afford to stay here a few days. We made the best out of it and spent every minute in the water or exploring around. Ko Hai was next on our itinerary. We arrived on the island during a storm and spent a few days completely by ourselves. We were the only guests in our hotel. Ko Hai has clear aquamarine water and powdery coral sand. Most of the land's rugged interior is overgrown with a thick jungle and is not accessible. Look how tall some of those trees are. Breathtaking. The mountainous rainforest is inhabited by huge monitor lizards. The monitor lizards seem to feel as happy in the water as they are on land. They steer their body with their tail when they swim. This island is surrounded by other small islets, which makes the views very picturesque. The night atmosphere here is so romantic, and the sounds of the jungle were wonderful. On our last night, we sat on the beach and observed the moon for a while. Sitting next to Mike in the darkness, I thought about life, love, and non-coincidental coincidences. It was sheer luck for Mike and I to meet at the end of the world, in Antarctica, on an old Russian spy ship. And here we are, 3 years later, stuck in Thailand because of COVID. While the entire world is dealing with the pandemic, we are the only 2 tourists on Ko Hai, sitting on this stunning beach, looking at the moon. Life is full of magic, isn't it? And I'm so grateful for this experience. From the province of Trang, we headed further east, to the province of Patalung. This part of Thailand is not visited by many, and that's a pity, because nature here is unique. Patalung is known for its large freshwater lagoon, Talenoi, one of the most biodiverse sites in Thailand. Talenoi is a protected freshwater wetland and home to many endemic and migratory birds. Talenoi is also home to the swimming water buffaloes. Have you ever seen a shepherd using a boat to lead his animals? What a strange sight! Who knew that a heavy water buffalo could learn to swim? The thing to do here is to hire a boat and go for a ride. A huge part of this beautiful wetland is covered with water lilies and lotuses between February and March. Unfortunately, we're not visiting Talenoi in the right season, and there are only a few flowers blooming right now. But imagine this entire lake covered with pink lotuses. I know I want to come back here to see it. Here are again our water buffaloes. This time they're swimming across the wetland. I still cannot believe this heavy land animal could learn to swim. And if all of this was not enough, there are also the fishermen and their traditional nets that adds to the beauty of the landscape. Fishermen in Talenoi tend to their traditional yaw fishing nets, just like their fathers and grandfathers did. These giant square-shaped nets are dipped into the water, then raised to catch the fish. The sight is fascinating. I was mesmerized by the nets going in and out of the water, and the fishermen stepping up and down the wooden structure. I could not take my eyes off them. They are so photogenic. Mike asked one of the fishermen if he can try his luck with the net. You gotta give it to Mike for jumping out there to try something new. I bet this was the first time our Thai fisherman was asked by a foreigner to teach him how to fish. The fisherman did not speak English, but he did kindly show Mike the ropes of his work. We stayed on a little bridge until dark, watching the fishermen do their net dance. The light disappeared, yet I was still entranced with the magic of this place. And this is how we cross the swamps. Many of the smaller roads near the lake are flooded, but locals don't even notice. The local people living in the village of Bangkok still do things the old ways, using the wisdom and skills that have been passed down from generation to generation. A traditional craftsmanship in this community are hats, bags and baskets made of crejut. Crejut is a tall grass-like plant that thrives in the wetlands and has been used to make handicrafts for centuries. People collect the grass in the wetlands. They dry it, then they weave the beautiful handicrafts. And here is the local shop on wheels that travels through the village. There are two very interesting markets in this area. The bamboo market is a colorful weekend market built in the bamboo forest. The actual name of this place means bamboo forest that brings happiness. It's a very local market. The tourists here are mostly Thai, and only several people spoke a few words in English. Everything we tried was delicious.
Thank you.
There were many typical local delicacies we had not seen anywhere else in Thailand. Remember the cockroach-looking bug we saw at the market in Trang? We finally discovered its purpose.
Over here, I show you here. Come. This one.
Oh my god. Oh, what is that? Okay, so how does that one work?
Yeah, you can take from here. You can take from here.
But what do you guys eat this?
Yeah.
Where? Inside the curry?
Yeah.
This bug is crushed into a paste that is then made into a curry dish. Would you like to try? There's also the Thai Nod Grain Market. It's an artsy place with a bit of everything. Delicious food, arts and crafts, clothes, accessories, art for sale and art displays. Lucky for me, this market had a lot of vegetarian options.
Wow.
This funky looking bread is actually very sweet and melts in your mouth.
Oh, it's growing so much.
Mike asked if he could try to make one. Not as easy as it looks. But he got the hang of it. There are other interesting places you can visit, like this open-air agricultural walk. You can see and learn how rice is planted and harvested. This region in Thailand is known for its rice fields and a particular type of red rice which you can find only here. This rice is so delicious. It was a year of complete isolation. We've met a few people, but mostly kept to ourselves, which also meant being together 24/7 in cramped quarters. We had not budgeted being away for so long, so most of the time we rented small rooms to optimize our budget. 15 square meters, 2 people, 5 cameras, and 2 pairs of snorkeling fins. Some of our most memorable moments cannot be described. The beauty of Thai nature is difficult to capture in words or photos. It's best witnessed. Are you familiar with the show House Hunters? My mom loves discovering new places and looking at exotic homes. She travels virtually from her little TV screen and dreams of going one day on an apartment hunt of her own somewhere around the world. I've watched the show with my mom many times thinking, wouldn't it be cool to travel the world and film different homes? Remember what I said about dreams? Be careful what you wish for. The universe is listening. After a year of traveling around Thailand, Mike and I made our way back to Koh Lanta, where we've met with the lovely Swedish family, Mia, Matthias, Emil and Elinor. The family is building a serviced apartment complex on a beautiful hill, facing the sea and Koh Lanta's fabulous sunsets. We started filming the apartments for them. Mike had never been in front of a camera, but stepped in as a host.
Thank you for joining us on our tour of apartment B2 here at Malay Highlands. Remember, all units give you access to the on-site restaurant, swimming pools, fitness center, game room, and shuttle bus service. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you soon.
This was my first time filming real estate. One night, tired after a full day of shooting, I sat on the couch wondering, why are we working so hard instead of enjoying our time in Thailand? It dawned on me, I was living my dream. I had asked for this, film apartments around the world. Wow! I slept so blissfully that night. A dream on my dream list was just ticked off.
Thanks for watching. We hope to see you soon.
We lived on Koh Lanta for 5 months. We loved and felt part of our Swedish family, and we got to know the entire staff at Mali Highlands. One day, Mia dared us all to be the first to do the Jerusalem Dance Challenge on Koh Lanta. This was such a fantastic experience for everyone. This song gave people so much hope during the pandemic. Talking about hopes and dreams, there is something else I must share with you. 10 years ago, I was based in Bangkok and was working for a Thai investment bank. I was in love with the country, and it was a difficult decision for me to move away. Before I left Thailand, I went to visit Phra Prom, known as the Four-Faced Buddha. This shrine is a major landmark located on a busy sidewalk in the heart of Bangkok. To make a wish, you place flowers, candles, and incense in front of each face of the statue. When your wish comes true, you must come back here again and pay respect to the deity by offering more flowers or by buying a Thai dance performance. Years ago, I came here for a prayer. Deep down, I knew that my wish was probably unrealistic, but I went ahead and asked anyway. And here I am, 10 years later. I'm back in front of the image to say thank you. My original wish did not follow through the way I imagined, but way beyond my wildest dreams. Among my career ups and downs, I had managed to travel the world and make many friends. I thank Phra Prom not only for bringing me back to Thailand, but also for giving Mike and I a 1.5-year long adventure on country's most exquisite beaches. In normal times, we would have never been able to afford this amazing holiday. After a 1.5 years of traveling Thailand, Mike and I had covered over 9,000 kilometers. We had visited 30 islands and over 100 markets. What did I learn? I realized how little luggage a person actually needs. I've also learned that people who are open and welcome life's experiences become more creative, and creativity triggers lucky chances. Here's the secret. What fills people's hearts shows up everywhere around them. In the year the world stood still, I had the chance to revisit the country I love and see it from top to bottom for the first time. I reconnected with some childhood memories and fulfilled 2 dreams of mine: become a house hunter filmmaker and explore Thailand with my guy. When we arrived in Thailand, we had no idea that our holiday will turn into a 1.5 years of travel extravaganza. It's with a heavy heart that we are headed to the international airport today. Thailand reopened its borders, and we are free to go back home. Thank you, Thailand, for your hospitality and for allowing us to stay for so long. Thanks for your fantastic food, for your natural wonders and tropical islands. Thanks for introducing us to your beautiful culture and people. We are grateful for this once-in-a-lifetime chance to discover your most beautiful places at a slower pace. This is not only the longest holiday I have ever taken, but one of the most unexpected and stunning trips of my life. Thanks for the wonderful memories. We will cherish them in our hearts forever.